Welcome to Stick to Rugby, brought to you by Defender. Now, a little clue for the guest that is coming on today. I wonder if you can get it. Stick to Rugby. Are you ready? Is that good?
What was that?
I do it again. You need to be more enthusiastic.
Okay, all right,
more enthusiastic.
Yeah. All right. Stick to Rugby. Are you ready?
Better.
It's a bit are we a boxer?
Are you joking? That was
Let's
fair.
get ready to rumble!
No.
That's like WWE.
That's perfect.
What do we reckon?
I know.
It's a gladiator.
Wolf!
No. Showing your age now, Scott.
Shadow.
No. One of the best at dual mind.
I'm really tall.
Yeah, we have got Apollo.
Apollo! I've always wondered, right, why they named him, right, after a comedy place. Live at the Apollo.
Yeah, that's exactly what they've done, mate. It's not the Greek god.
Why?
It's a comedy club.
Okay.
But he's the size of the Apollo.
Yes, he is.
That's why I thought they made him, you know what I mean, the Apollo.
Are you okay?
He's a Greek god, is he?
Yeah.
Yes, Alex
Has it
Gray
been a
is
long
on.
weekend?
Is he a Greek god?
Wow.
But before he was a gladiator, he was a former rugby player, and that's why he's on. Played rugby for Newcastle, London Irish.
Yes, he did.
Did you play?
Did you play with him?
Yeah.
I did play with him.
you?
Yeah. I got a funny training ground story about him, which maybe we'll let him share.
Yes,
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we let them share.
definitely. But he was also at the Atlantic Falcons, and he captained pre-season game there. So,
Alex!
Did you say Atlantic?
yes, Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah. Stop picking me up on the small details, Topsy.
Could be a long day today, couldn't it, Shanks?
It could be a long day.
Yeah, but how long have you been teaching for?
This is my 7th year.
Did you have a favourite teacher?
Yeah, well, I think the teachers like me because they always used to say, "Scott, see me after school." I used to go, "Well, you know, I like you, but I'm not gonna, you know." And they used to make me hang around with them for an hour after school, mostly every day, and I don't know why. I to this day.
How long till you clocked on what was actually happening?
Probably when 53.
What was happening?
But are you trying to say it was detention?
Secret detention. Oh, just come sit with us for an hour after school. It's fine.
Do that English homework.
I spent 7 years outside the headmaster's office.
70s.
Me and Mr. Jones, everybody used to call me the secretary.
Topsy, do you have a favourite teacher?
Do I have a favourite? I quite like languages at school.
Yeah.
To be fair. So my Spanish teacher. Now her name, I can't remember, but I do remember enjoying Spanish for some reason. Like I wasn't into maths, science, and all of that, but languages, yeah.
How many can you speak?
French and Spanish loosely.
Welsh?
nice.
Welsh.
Do you have a Welsh teacher?
I need a teacher. Are you offering?
Wel,
Used to get
dwi'n moyn siarad am y bach o Cymraeg fi helpu ti.
I can get by on like French.
Da iawn ti,
German.
da iawn ti.
All right. Show off.
Well, when I say get by, I can.
Say hello.
Yeah.
You've been on,
Few
Shanks has been on a Welsh learning programme.
Yeah, Carried Iaith it was.
Yeah.
What, recently?
No, a few years ago it was to learn Welsh basically for a week, like an intense course. But
And?
I realised towards the end, that there's only a certain amount of Welsh you can learn after every night drinking like 3 bottles of wine.
So it wasn't that intense?
Gwyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gwyn Coch.
Gwyn Coch.
Yeah.
Well, I see red wine. You can order red wine.
Okay, so you fluent?
Tipping back.
A little bit. So Shanks is a little bit fluent.
Okay.
That's all you
Come in,
get.
sir, can we pull him up on that?
Yeah,
That's all you
yeah.
get.
I like
that.
that.
In America, they could offer you a 3-year deal, you sign it, they could get rid of you tomorrow. Kind of Clark Kent, boy next door type of feel. I thought I can play it to that, be the mum's favourite, no problem.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, you taught them everything they know.
Yeah, that's what I say. I gave them everything they needed, and I just sailed off into the sunset. And he literally does this. Looks both ways to see who he thought it was. I'm on his team, and it is the biggest haymaker you've ever seen.
No.
Came all the way from Australia. Just boom.
They've lost 2 games in 30 years in World Cup history. 1 in 91 and 1 in 2014.
What's the call? Can't remember what the second call is. So you lean over to your teammate and you go, what's the call? And he leans back and goes, I don't know.
Would you like some banana cake?
Would I?
Oh, would you?
Would I?
It's got nuts in it.
Good.
Oh.
All the better. I mind a few nuts.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Who's made this?
Georgie.
It's really good, eh?
Shout out Georgie.
Yeah.
There we are. Oh, look at that. Seal of approval. Seal of approval.
Knows where the camera is as
If
well.
you know the two biggest men in the room like it, you know you should sell it.
Yeah.
The two biggest.
Is that the rule?
Yeah, could imagine. You plow through
Arm
it.
wrestling going on here. What a
How
spread.
nice
What
is
a
that?
spread.
I
Cup
know.
of tea, biscuits.
I
I know, they put that in front of me just to tease me every week. Since I started doing this podcast, I put a stone and a half on.
You guys are living
What's
around
that?
here, I'll tell you.
How are you?
I'm good.
You all right?
I'm good, yeah.
bad.
I'm still breathing, which is the main thing. So,
Still alive.
You were rocking that necklace.
you know, hey,
Look at that.
if no one notices me, this is how I get that final push.
Representing.
Yeah.
Saw that straight away.
Yeah, this was the gift. This is where the BBC budget went for all the Gladiators end of season 3. So.
See, this is what gets me, right? So
Not like a Super Bowl ring.
No, just
Just a zodiac sign.
it's the opposite to Superman, isn't it? You know what I mean? Because Superman wore glasses,
Really far
not
away.
get seen. You know what I mean? But same hair, same eyebrows, same physique, but you don't wear the glasses. You wear a little chain with gladiators on it.
that showbiz,
I
baby.
love it. I love it.
Welcome to Stick to Rugby.
Sorry, yeah,
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
It's great to have you on. Now, do you prefer Alex or Apollo?
Well, I'm a method actor, so I would normally go by either. So you can call me Alex. I'm off the clock now.
Like
I'm
Daniel
going to be
Day-Lewis.
honest with you. So only this morning, when we were doing the drive-through, I realised that you were named after a Greek god. I thought you were named after Live at the Apollo.
Because I'm an absolute joke. Is that why?
No.
He got you.
You said that there. You just keep throwing them up, and I'll just
There
keep.
we go. That's 15 minutes to get sorted.
Before I forget, can we play in the seesaw after this?
Yeah, of course.
I don't normally get somebody, you know, that this big, so we can have a game of the seesaw. We can go to the park after. I'm so excited.
You might need Topsy as well, Alex, on your team.
Yeah. We'll have to
Oh, you're a bit heavy.
All right.
If I had a nickname called Apollo, I just want people to call me Apollo. I wouldn't bother with Tom.
What is your nickname then?
Well, if I went on a family holiday last year to Ibiza, and we played kids football, and I was in goal, and I was making all the kids call me Rambo. So yes, Rambo, I'm free. I don't know.
Yeah, there's nothing better than a safe.
But then we pass them in the buffet, and then we go, all right, Rambo. I'm bad like that. But look, it's great to have you on. Before we get you started, we always like to do a little quick fire question round, which I'm going to do today. We're giving Katy a morning off.
I thought you were chomping on that cake. I wonder why. This is your bit.
Katy's going to carry on eating some of this lovely banana and hazelnut loaf whilst I
Made by Georgie.
do some questions about yourself. So when you're competing
Love it.
on Gladiators, these facts come up and you probably don't see it. Maybe you do. Maybe you do. So we want to gauge if they're true or false. So true or false, you can leg press 400 kg.
True.
False. It's actually 600 kg there.
I was thinking 400. I think I would have that. Yeah, I was like, I've got that in the bag. I can't remember what I've said. So,
You're just thinking of your warm up.
Yeah, that must be.
Yeah. Just thinking.
That must have been one leg. To be honest, that must have been the one leg.
You just made it up.
You say single leg, didn't you?
Yes. Okay. True or false? Your hands are recorded as being XXL.
Ooh. That's absolutely true. I know that's true because that was the glove size in the NFL that I had to wear.
XXL.
That's why I didn't go to the NFL. Big gloves were big enough.
Big hands.
Oh, wow, they are big.
Big hands equals.
Big gloves.
Correct. Yeah.
Don't get me in trouble.
Correct.
Apparently, I've got here. It gives you tremendous grip on the wall.
Yep, exactly that.
Yeah.
All
True or
about that
false?
grip.
You can sprint 100 meters, just 1.4 seconds slower than the current men's world record, which is
9.58.
9.58.
Oof.
You know, you're fast.
A second and a half. Yeah, around about that.
True, you can do it in 11 seconds.
There we go.
There you are. You do know a lot about yourself.
Someone's got it.
I got to be honest. Can I just say,
Someone's
right,
got it.
this is not the hardest quiz we've ever done on the show.
Am I awesome? Yes, I am. That's what I get from this, yeah.
True or false? You consume 7,000 calories a day and 2.5 litres of water each day.
First one's definitely not true. 7,000 calories. That's a madness.
Yeah.
That big boy over there, that's what you could
That's
put away in
Michael
your day.
Phelps.
That's only half a kebab.
Fully loaded.
All the salad, all the sauces.
Yeah. Full of, I'm going to say false.
Yeah, it is false.
Yeah.
You do 4,000 calories apparently, and 3.5 litres.
That's still a lot, mate.
It is. It's yeah.
That's a lot of eating.
Yeah, I mean, 110 kilos. You got to keep it on somehow.
We can't play on the seesaw.
You need Topsy, don't you?
I need half a Topsy.
I'll join in.
Yeah. So how much chance you have to eat then when you're competing?
Yeah, it'd be about that, around 4,000, 5,000. It's kind of what I always used to try and eat when I was at my heaviest playing rugby and in the NFL. You just need it. Food is fuel. You try and keep it as clean as possible. But you got to keep yourself sane as well, right? Like I'm someone who likes to work out. I eat a super healthy diet, but I'm always going to have a dessert. If we're going out, I'm getting a dessert.
What's your dessert choice?
I like chocolate. Anything chocolatey, so maybe a bit like chocolate fudge cake, ice cream.
Nice.
Good banana bread.
Banana breads when it's on offer. I mean, it's got like a healthy vibe to it though as well, doesn't it? So it's like a sweet treat, I'd say.
Alex, just quickly, after the food then as well, what's your training like alongside it as well?
So obviously I've got the experience of playing two different sports, right? And I think I'm on the show for a lot of the contact games to kind of bring that element. So I've kind of stuck to what I know. I think that's what's kind of like proven the test of time through my career. I do a lot of sprinting. I do everything full pace, basically. I don't do any 5Ks, 10Ks. It's 100% or nothing with me. So I do a lot of sprinting, upper body, lower body weights, kind of agility, change of direction work, cardio on the bike. But again, being a bigger guy, don't want the pounding on the joints. I'm trying to go the long haul here. You know what I mean? I'm almost 20 years into what I'd call being a pro athlete. So I kind of follow the same sort of stuff I used to do in the NFL, in rugby. The only thing I have to introduce now is you have to climb a wall and like swing on rings and do all these weird, crazy stuff. So wall climbing gets put in towards when we start filming the show. And everything else I'm pretty well prepared for. Like I do tell people, it's a bit of a flex, but I think being a rugby player, being in the NFL, that's as close as you can get to being a gladiator anyway, I think. So, I've got 15 years in the bank anyway, so I think it's just continuing to do that. That's what got me on the show. So
we're all gladiators then, basically, all right?
Well, you got to come up with names.
Yeah.
If you're going to say that, you got to come up with names.
Ooh. I think
or two, if we're going for comedy places.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So you did that. Well done.
I don't know.
The Empire.
Yeah, that's good.
The Empire.
Yeah.
Shank the Tank. Could I have that as gladiator
You
name?
sound more like one of those, when Robo was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, the Tank.
The Tank,
Yeah.
that's better.
Yeah, we like the Tank. Topsy, you go on?
Flash?
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, you.
Yeah.
On brand.
Yeah.
He
Back
could
in the
move.
day.
Yeah, sign me up.
He could
What did you
move.
say yours
Yeah.
was?
Go on the Empire.
Empire, yeah.
Stick to Rugby is brought to you by Defender. Obviously, it's been quite a whirlwind few years, NFL, back to rugby, but we'll talk about all those bits a bit later. We want to start on about your Saturday night show. Where did that come from? How did that opportunity arise?
So I just finished playing at Bath, and I was kind of out of contract, going around the houses trying to get a new deal, places going on trial, and I got told by my agent that there's a TV show who at the time they weren't calling it Gladiators, they were calling it Superhumans. And I thought that's definitely up my street, yeah. And they're looking for kind of athletes, ex-athletes to come on this show. They said it's a lot like Gladiators, but it's going to be a Saturday night entertainment show. Would you be interested in doing a self-tape audition? I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. I've never done anything like that before. So I did my job. It was in my bedroom, so the lighting wasn't great, whatever. But I tried to play it to the camera. I think I was telling them I was the beast from the northeast, white lightning. I think I made a joke about
I'd love to see this.
Yeah, my mum. And so I did that. They really enjoyed it, I think. And they said, look, come down to London, do some on-screen tests for us. I thought, came down, and we were doing all sorts of stuff. They were dressing me up, and I had to do some kind of over-the-top acting to the camera, kind of panto type stuff. They said, right, that's cool. And then that's where they told me, look, we're actually trying to get the BBC to commission Gladiators again. And I thought, Gladiators, man, I used to watch that as a kid. That's huge. So at that point, I was super excited. But at that point, I had a decision to make, right? Because I didn't want to then go back to rugby and get injured, miss out on the next audition step, because it was a little bit left up in the air. It's like, right, we'll be in contact with you. I was like, okay, cool. So month after month after month, it was like, what's going on? Any news? And they were like, no, we're working on it. We're still chatting to the BBC, blah, 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 blah. And that entire period went a year and a half, pretty much. So early on, I was like, well, I need to do something. So I actually went and got a job in the city for a year and a half doing recruitment. Had to pay the bills.
Or were you just picking people up and throwing them into buildings?
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen that.
You see that one over there? You're in there.
Terry T.
Yeah. The office linebacker. And look, that was cool, but obviously I'd played sport my entire life. So it was novel at the start, being behind a desk, being with everybody. It's like being back at school again, but a couple of months in, when your boss is getting on your back and you're just thinking, oh, God, I hope this TV thing pays off. And then all of a sudden it was kind of, right, with, because originally they picked 12 people to do that pilot. And I was part of that 12. But then they got it commissioned and they were like, right, we're going to do one more big tryout, which included physical tests, more on-screen stuff. And I think they just went out to the public. Every fitness influencer, every person that's out there, they approached and said, whoever they thought was good enough, and said, look, we want you to be part of this trial. So I think they did like 6 or 7 different trials. We all turned up in like groups of 30, 40, and we did all these physical tests. And I did pretty well, right? Like coming from the background I did. So I felt pretty confident. And then it was all of a sudden, we had a phone call, you've got the part. And then within like a month, we were filming the first series.
Do you think that your rugby background, because rugby, you know what I mean, when it's gladiatorial on the pitch and everything, NFL is that. And when they all came together, do you think, I'm going to kick your ass?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, it's a very competitive dog-eat-dog environment, especially the NFL, right? Where every day you're fighting for a job. I think everyone looks at the NFL, the big star players, the guaranteed money, that's like 10% of the squad. Yeah. The rest of the people are fighting for a job day to day because in America, they could offer you a 3-year deal, you sign it, they could get rid of you tomorrow. So, yeah, I think that's something that was instilled in me from that experience, was just being able to turn up and just try and dominate. Yeah. And that's what I did. Did really well on all the tests. Was near the top on most of them. The only thing I wasn't very good at was trying to climb a rope. I've never done that before. Being a heavy, you'll know this. Being a heavier guy, trying to get yourself up a rope.
Got to use your legs, haven't you?
Yeah. It was the techers just weren't there for me. So luckily they've not put any rope climbing in the show just yet, which is good. But yeah, I felt well prepared, and there was a whole mix of people there that obviously maybe haven't come from quite a competitive background. And I just I thought, look, I've done a lot. There's no one else. They can't find another Alex Gray. And I think I carried that confidence through, and I think that's what stood me in good stead.
All from your bedroom. All started from your bedroom.
I know.
Like Daniel Bedingfield.
Yeah, really.
Created If You're Not the One. I think he produced and recorded all his songs from his bedroom.
Wow, you were just a fountain of knowledge today.
A lot of stuff can happen in the bedroom.
Big fan of his.
The guys who, obviously there was loads of you that went in to become a gladiator. Did any of them fall out into like contenders?
No, I think they not that I know of. I think once they'd got the gladiators set, so of that original 12 they picked, only 6 of us made it the entire way. And then we're at 18 now. So you did pretty well just even sticking it out that far. Because obviously what the production team wanted, what the BBC wanted might have been different. And I think what they've done a really good job of is not one gladiator is the same, looks the same, feels the same. We all represent different backgrounds, areas of the country and whatever. So I think that plays a big part in being part of it. And I think it's super important. They've done a very, very good job there. And then they just went to market for the contenders. And I think they had something like, they had to shut the application emails off at about 15,000 emails.
Wow.
So they had a lot of self-tapes to go through, a lot of people to pick from. I don't know how many people applied, but I think for the first season, at least 15,000 did.
Wow.
And I think they just pressed stop on the email. So if you didn't get a reply, guys, that's what it was.
No, it makes sense.
You didn't get a reply, did you?
No, it makes sense. I'd be waiting for 5 years.
I mean, there wouldn't be loads I think you'd be good at, but Gauntlet, I think you'd be a Powerball.
That's the only thing.
Powerball.
And I quite fancy myself with the cotton buds.
The jewel.
The cotton buds.
I quite fancy myself. I got a low centre of gravity. You know what I mean? My legs are only about a third of my body. you know what I mean? So I'm down there. So I'd be alright. I'd be alright with that. But all the running and stuff.
Nah, not for you.
You'd have your forearm guard on, wouldn't you?
Cougar.
Some people did, but they presented it to me. They were like, "Hey, do you want to be Apollo, god of the sun?" I thought that fits. We can make that work. Yeah, I think what they wanted for me was kind of, as you were saying earlier, like a kind of Clark Kent, boy next door type of feel. I thought I can play it to that, be the mum's favourite, no problem.
Yeah. Same. I got that same look, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah. Do you know when you come out and it's all about acting, isn't it? Because you come out there, but you still get the nerves that before the game nerves. You know what I mean? Where you get out there, the cameras are on. Bradley Walsh, he's so intimidated, and you know what I mean? Brad,
all 5 foot of him.
He's fabulous. He's absolutely fabulous. And when you go there, do you still get those game nerves before you go out?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we are going out in front of a live crowd. There's 4,000 people there, and you guys will know, whenever there's a roof on a stadium, it just exasperates that, right?
Yeah.
So it's an amazing feeling. There's a lot going on. You've got all the pyros, all the lights. You've got the entire stadium at you, and you can't forget. You're going out there, and come January when the show comes out, there's going to be 10 million people watching what happens. Some games are worse than others. You know, if you've seen the one, The Edge, where it's super high, that's shaky legs time on the way up every single time. But that's what I love, and that's what I feel very lucky to have gone from sport to this, because I still get to compete. Yeah. It's not against the same caliber of people, etc. And there's not as much on the line as it feels like with pro sports, but I still get to compete. I still get to do that athletic, physical element, but it's just now having to develop alongside that the entertainer side of it as well, which is.
Do you enjoy
really
that
good.
bit though, because it's something that doesn't come naturally to everybody? But
I think I've probably always had that in me, and you know, rugby sometimes I think we all know can be quite a sterile environment as far as entertainment goes. You know, that isn't helped by the media. As soon as anyone says anything a little bit outlandish, everyone jumps on the back of that. And there was actually, you know, going to the NFL kind of opened me up to it a little bit, because there's a lot of trash talk and they have big celebrities in that league. But I think if you watch my development through the show, the first half of the first season, I was still doing the classic sportsman thing where good game, going to work really hard for the next one, get better, we go again.
Yeah, give it 2 halves.
Yeah, exactly. And I got halfway through the season, I just thought, what am I doing? There's 10 million people going to be watching this. I can do better. I can do more. I am capable of more. So I've tried to be very conscious of that going forward. And you know, it's taken me a couple of seasons, but every season that goes on, I'm kind of redefining my character, making it stronger. It's funny having to come up with lines and come up with your gags and stuff.
But it comes through the telly though, that you're enjoying it, and that's the main thing.
I love it. I feel like I'm exactly. If I could pick, you know, where I wanted to be. A little bit of sports, a little bit of entertainment, mixed up, get to beat up your...
Housewife's favourite.
Housewife's favourite is amazing. We love it. We love it. You know, we get to beat up your local vet, driving instructor, you know, accountant. It doesn't get any better, guys.
Can I just say, this is on the show. This is on the show.
We need a couple of politicians in there now.
Yeah. Start sending them in. Yeah, we'll sort
Do you think
them out.
it's eclipsed your sporting journey, like what you've achieved on Gladiators?
I think the reach has. Yeah, I think I was at the Great North Run on Saturday, starting all the kids' races, and you know, it makes you think, like when a kid sees you and they double take you, and then their expression just explodes, and they look to their parents. Look, it's Apollo, it's Dynamite, it's Sabre, whoever it is. It's been an amazing thing because we get a lot of, we go and do meet and greets, right? And we get people who stand in line for like 8 hours just to come and get a photo for like 10 seconds just to see us. Like it's been crazy. And some of the best feedback we get, which makes it all worthwhile, is you've brought the family back together. Yeah. It's taking parents so much to pull their kid off of a PlayStation, off of an iPad. They're too cool to sit down with their parents and watch anything. I think Saturday night, it's kind of been dead for a long, long time. So for us to be able to provide something that has actual value to a family unit has been amazing. And of course, like, it's not a bad life dressing up in a sparkly spandex outfit and running around and playing on a big adult playground. But that side of it is something that I didn't, at the very start, my eyes were just full of stars with getting to be a gladiator, getting to be Apollo. But as we've kind of done 2 seasons, 3 seasons, to see the impact we're having kind of socially has been amazing.
I get a feeling the responsibility you have, especially with the children and that type of thing. But I want to take you back now to Barnet Castle School up in County Durham. And when you were a child, were you watching the old Gladiators back then? And did you have a favourite back then? And was it something you thought, oh, do you know what? You know, was there ever a thought in your mind, one day?
I don't know. I mean, I obviously watched it as a kid, and like, who knows? I say this to all the kids that I meet. Watching that show, watching those gladiators, who knows if that sparked that competitive element, you know what I mean? To want to go out and compete and do sport. And because that's the advice we give to all these kids. Go out and do sport and do it all, like enjoy it and just have a go. But yeah, I love to watch it. I mean, there was nothing like it, and there's been nothing like it for 30 years. That's why they brought us back, thankfully. So now I have a job. But yeah, I loved it. I loved the Panzer Wolf. Hunter was probably the one I enjoyed the most.
Wolf.
Yeah, I think
Looks nothing like himself now, though. Maybe you just have the big curtains, Hunter.
He was massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jet and Lightning were probably my two.
Jet.
Yeah.
Diane Udell.
Yeah. Well, she's from the northeast. Yeah. So from good
All
stuff.
the best people are, aren't they?
Yes, exactly.
But coming through then, and what was sport in your mind? Were you academical? Were you coming through? What pushed you down the rugby route?
So I had an uncle who played. He played just before the game went pro. He was playing for West Hartlepool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he was a back row. So I used to sit on my mum's knee, going around all the country as a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, watching him play, and that's how I got into it. You know, had a knack for it. You know, was pretty gifted as an athlete early on, and kind of carried that through. But yeah, the grassroots rugby, just loved it, enjoyed it. That's where it all started, really.
Yeah. Did you play all sort of sports?
Yeah, and I think that would always be my advice to any kid. Play it all, because I did gymnastics, I did martial arts, I did tennis, football, athletics, and that plus being outside all the time, right? Like I was always having to jump over fences to go and get my ball back from kicking it into the neighbours, quickly trying to get back over before they realised. So it was always super active, and I think they always have complementary skills, and I think that's probably what helped me develop as an all-round athlete, to be able to do rugby, be able to go and play in the NFL. Like I always tell people, like I think I could have been a Premiership goalkeeper. I think I could have done this, could have done that. That's just because I was good at most sports, because I played most sports, enjoyed most sports.
When did you find out you were a leader? I say that because you were captain of the under-16s, 18s, 20s for England.
Yeah, it was probably around that kind of 15, 16. When I captained England 16s, that was probably it. It was something I always enjoyed, because I think first and foremost, to be a leader, you have to perform. You know, you have to be front and center of any team's performance. You have to be there for your teammates. I really enjoyed that, and I consider myself a bit of a people person. I like getting to know people. We are the sum of all our parts in a team sport. And that's why rugby's so good, right? Because you have to rely on the person next to you time and time again. When you're camped on your 5-metre line, trying to keep a team out, those are the most glorious parts. Rain's coming down, you're on some terrible muddy pitch. Those are the moments.
But definitely a forward.
Well, you say that. you say that, but on your CV, you've got number 8.
Yeah.
You've got winger, centre.
It's the original hybrid.
Well, hang on a minute. I was thinking typo. I was thinking typo. That's it. No way. Back row, centre, winger. I thought, what a load of typo. And then I see you where I think, you look like a number 8, you look like a centre, you look like a winger. How did that hybrid player come through? Were you always in the back row? Or did you move around a lot?
I'm going to be completely honest. I came back from the NFL and saw all the forwards doing them all in practice, and was getting PTSD from that, and saw the backs doing the kicking. And I just thought, that's probably more for me now. No, I think... So it all started back in.
When you were younger,
I was playing back row, but I probably wasn't. I was a number 8. But I probably wasn't your conventional number 8. I used to stand out in the backs. I used to do crossfield kicks, little chips through, missed passes, all that type of stuff. And I was always in the pathway, and that worked for me because they just kind of let me do what I wanted. I used to play alongside people like Billy Vanapola.
Tell us some of those players you played with.
I mean, Billy Vanapola, Manu, Jonathan Joseph, Owen Farrell, George Ford, Elliot Daly, Jamie George.
Wow.
Jesus Christ, you taught them everything they know.
Yeah, that's what I say. I gave them everything they needed, and I just sailed off into the sunset. So I had so many good players around me that I could just kind of... the guy I wanted to be as a player, who I modelled myself on, was Parise.
Yeah.
So coming up,
You've got far too much hair.
yeah. But he's a handsome guy, isn't he?
And he did everything that you were talking about.
Yeah, he was doing all that stuff, and he had a supermodel girlfriend, and I thought that's the guy for me.
I like a bit of that.
Yeah. So that's who I wanted to be when I was modelling myself on a player. I wanted to be Sergio Parise, right? He was hitting drop goals and stuff, and I thought. I remember in my used to for your GCSEs for the PE we had to play a game of rugby to get like our grade, and it's the only thing I got an A star in my GCSEs. The rest were C's and B's and whatever. I'd
have been so happy with them
because I lined up mid game and hit a drop goal from 50 metres out straight through the posts, and that's just what I love doing. That's the only regret of my professional rugby career, is that I didn't hit a drop goal in a game. So if I ever make a return socially, that's what I'm going to do.
Topsy?
Have I had a drop goal? No, I haven't. I got a couple of conversions.
Oh,
No
nice.
drop goals. No drop goals.
none for me.
Were you one of those pity conversions? You know what I mean? Oh, it's the end of your
it's his
career.
last
End of your career.
Straight in front, off you go.
This
You're not
is.
playing for London Irish anymore. Have a go.
I've gone in from 60. Everybody's on the halfway line. Oh, you don't want to kick it? I'll kick it as well. Go on, I'll do it all. But
I've got it.
I did want to remind you though, because obviously talking about your hybrid positioning.
Yeah.
I remember one particular mall session.
You better not have the clip of this. You better not have the
We'll
clip.
find the
they'll
clip
find 'em.
where I
And
thought
if-
that might be the moment where you thought I want to be a back, not a forward. So I said I would let you tell the story.
Oh, I'm not sure if I can remember it after what happened.
He's going to tell it if you
Yeah, all I remember is mauling session. Do you remember Big Bob Casey?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, he was the biggest human alive. He
Yes.
was like a dinosaur, wasn't he? And yeah, so we were doing I was Little and Irish. I was playing number 8. And look, we had some savages in that team. We had Chris Halafia playing. He was someone I used to back him up. So look, he wasn't the most professional of guys. He'd often come in on the morning of a game. He'd come to me hungover and be like, "Oh, you can play today." So I would often go from being like non-23 to starting number 8 just to cover for him. And I used to sit next to him in the changing room. So that was a hell of an experience. But Bob Casey, we were doing a mauling session. We were on the same team, by the way. Let me get this absolutely stated right here. And we're mauling away, and me and him get pulled out by one of the props. As it happens, just every maul this happens. Every single day of every single week, every single game this happens. We get pulled out of the maul. I turn around to go running back in. Next thing you know, haymaker straight to the face. And at the time, I didn't see it coming, so I don't know what happened. I thought, someone must have just elbowed me or something. I hit the deck. I'm gone. And I'm just lying on the floor. I'm checking my nose. Is it still straight? And we get up. We carry on. Whatever. Didn't know what happened. Go back to watch the analysis. Bob Casey. We've been pulled out by this player, and he literally does this. He looks both ways to see who he thought it was. I'm on his team, and it is the biggest haymaker you've ever seen.
No.
Came all the way from Australia. Just boom. Planted one straight on me. I was like 20 years old or something. So I carried on. I finished the session. This was before the concussion protocols were in place, by the way. So finished the session, and then after, Bob, mate, what was that about? He said sorry, and we just those were the days though.
So was that the moment? Was that the moment you decided, you know what, I'm going to Sevens?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously coming up, I was playing number 8. I was more of a kind of a elusive ball playing number 8. And Stuart Lancaster, throughout my age group career, he was like the head of the academies.
Yeah.
So he would come into school and see me, and he would look after all that stuff. And he was always like, "Have you ever thought about playing in the backs? Ever thought about playing in the backs?" No. Because obviously I was captain England at 16s, under 18s, was like player of the year every year. Basically, I got to Irish, and if I'm going to be completely honest, I hit a bit of a stagnation period at Irish, right? Like, as I said, playing behind Chris Halafia, I probably lost my way a little bit. And I had to sit down with Stuart, who now was the big cheese at England. And he said, "Look, we've not got a lot of big centres. I think they had Manu and Luther Burrell at the time. That's the way the game was going. You needed guys who could win up the middle. Sonny Bill Williams was in his pomp. And he said, why don't you go to the Sevens, work on your skills, get that side of your game developed, and then come back to 15s and play centre and see what happens." And I thought, you know what? Variety is a spice of life for me. I've never stayed in a place more than... The NFL was the longest stint I did anywhere. That was 3 years, right? All my other rugby teams have been 2 years. So I just thought, you know what? I'm going to go for it. And at that point, I think I needed to do that for myself as well, go to the Sevens. It wasn't just a position change. It was a kind of re-grasping of my career a little bit, because I knew I played a little bit of Sevens, as everyone has, and you know how hard it is. There's no hiding place. If you've not done the work in those lead up to the tournaments, you're going to get found out. Yeah. And back then, we had stadiums of like 60, 70, 80,000 people.
London Sevens was
incredible,
wasn't it?
Yeah, so it's not quite what it was now. It's fallen off a little bit, and it was a crazy thing. Get to travel the world as a young 20-year-old. So I thought, I'm just going to go for it.
If you could play a position now, what position would it be? If you could pick one to play.
Oh, the god of the sun.
Yeah.
Probably 13. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, but anybody could play 13.
Do you think?
Toughest position, mate. Defensively.
Yeah. Everyone says that, but I always thought 12 was harder defensively.
I think wing is now.
Really?
We've got
Yeah.
to come, yeah.
I think wing is the hardest.
Glad you said it.
Now, you said now though.
And then? No, I heard. No, you didn't say that.
No,
As long as you're quick enough to drift as a 13, you're never in trouble, I don't think. So...
Honestly, I don't know what you're talking about. Drifting.
I think the centres. I mean, the game's actually opened up a little bit more now. So when I kind of left 15s, it was very attritional. I remember as an 18-year-old coming out of the age group system where everything was free flowing. I remember playing for Newcastle at number 8, and the game plan was where I had to fit a game plan now, and it was right. You're carrying around the corner into Courtney Laws on second phase. I thought I'm 97 kilos wet. You know, like it's not, that's not the type of game for me. But now you see guys at RD Surveyor's really good. Sometimes you can't really tell the difference between a back rower and a centre, right?
Yeah. No, you can't.
So,
You're right.
Yeah, it's so I think the game's going as far as like playing style is in a far better place.
I know.
Hey, but go back to the sevens. Highlights.
You were talking before about not letting those moments pass you by. I kind of feel like I wish I'd realised what an amazing situation I was in with the sevens, because we were doing all sorts, right? You get to go to Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Dubai, as well as all the European countries, you know, Russia, Italy, France. Every single year, you're going there every single year. Japan. There's so many. I think a packed out Hong Kong sevens.
Oh,
Crazy.
that is the best.
I would love to go back and experience that in the crowd.
As a fan.
As a fan, yeah.
You probably remember less as a fan than you did as a player.
Yeah, which is actually quite funny because when I got to the NFL, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame, a receiver, one of the best wide receivers that ever played the game, Julio Jones. Yeah. And he actually said he'd been to the Hong Kong Sevens. And he was like, oh, you used to play rugby, I've been to this. I was like, that is actually mad that you, an American, who thinks there's no other country in the world other than America, and one of the biggest stars in this game, is going to go play, has been over there, and he said he loved it.
You missed out on the Rio Olympics 2016
Oh.
because since Sevens was involved in the Olympics, I think all rugby players are like, wow, I'd love to have gone just to be part of the Olympics, just to say that you're an Olympian.
It's like you said about Gladiators, it's something that as rugby you grew up watching the Olympics but never thinking you would ever be part of it because the sport was never in it. Then all of a sudden that carrot gets dangled and you're like, oh,
Can I get the Olympic rings tattooed on my arm? You know?
Yeah,
it was a tough moment because I was player of the year before. I was in a good spot going into it. We had a super strong team. I picked up a little injury that kind of went against me in the final selection tournament, but at the same time, I should have done more to seal my place. I would have been fit. And it was super disappointing because it was one of those where everything I'd done had been for like, to represent my family, to put my name on the back of a shirt, make us all really proud. My mum's, she's never left Europe. She's worked in the NHS for 35 years, right? And this was going to be one of the big trips that they were going to make. I got I was so confident in me going. I'd got tickets through the official website and stuff for us all. So for that not to come to fruition, that was really, really painful, and probably left me a little bit dejected with rugby, because that had been 3-4 years in the making, right? And it was super tough to stomach. And then those guys went on, they won a silver medal, which it's fantastic. There's so many good guys in that. And most of the team was English, right? I always say there's certain moments in your life that can either make you or break you. And something I've always prided myself on, for any of the kids watching at home, you've got to use those. You've got to use those losses, man, because that's when you learn your lessons. That's when you learn who you really are. And I got given the option. So we played like 3 warm-up tournaments. I got injured in the third one, and that's on the following Monday they named the team. And then I was given the option. I rolled my ankle. I was given the option. Look, you can sit out of the last. It was like a week later. You can sit out of the last tournament. And because I'd signed for, I was going to come back as a centre. I'd already signed a deal to come back. I was going to Leeds to play in the championship as a centre. And I was given the option, you can sit out of this tournament if you want. And I thought, nah, I'm going to show you you've made a big mistake. Like, I didn't get the rings on my arm or anything for that, but that was, to me, showing up for myself.
Totally, yeah.
And that's one of I've got a lot of highlights, but that was one where, as much pain as I was in, I used that as a positive, and I went out and I did the job anyway. And then a year to the day that they won their silver medal, I played my first game in the NFL against the Miami Dolphins. So,
I don't like talking about regrets, but if there's one moment you could go back to and change, what moment would that be in your union career?
Oh, it's super hard because, as you're saying, I hate to live with regrets. That's why I shoot.
No point.
That's why I shoot for the moon, right?
Yeah.
Because I think even if you miss, you'll always land among the stars. A bit cheesy as it is, but I've always lived by that.
You're up with the sun.
Yeah. That's where I'm supposed to be. So it's like, what would I have changed that would have got me here? Because you're right. The thing is, success. It's hard to. It's always backwards looking. You know what I mean? It's always behind you. You've got to do everything in the hope that it's going to come, and then you can only really look back and say, oh, yeah, I did a good job there. There's a couple of moments I wish I'd done more. When I was Irish, I wish I'd done more Irish, but that wouldn't have sent me to the sevens. I could have left Newcastle as an 18-year-old. Saracens were trying to sign me, and that was just as they were getting going. Yeah. So there's a lot of different avenues that life can take you, I think, but you've just got to keep going because you just don't know. You've got to keep knocking on doors. If you're not knocking, you've got to go and kick them down. You just got to keep moving forward, whatever it is. And what I've kind of learned is you've just got to try and do good work. I think the Sevens was a saving grace for me because I'd lost momentum with London Irish, my 15s career. So I got an opportunity. But then I turned up and I said, I am going to do absolutely everything I can to rinse this, maximize myself. A year later, you go and get Player of the Year. 2 years after that, you miss out on the Olympics. How do I use that as a positive? I go to the NFL. You know, there are opportunities there, but you've got to be willing to take them. You've got to be willing to make a jump. You've got to be willing to put the work in. And you've just got to back yourself.
Right, we are going to talk Women's World Cup. Women's World Cup kicking off at the minute. So the pool stages are now done. So we can kind of look ahead to the big stuff now, the quarterfinals and the knockouts and all of that. But just to kind of wrap up the pool stuff, I guess, any surprises?
You have formed a great relationship with Ruby Tui.
She's my new bestie.
Yeah,
Everyone's new bestie.
you are.
She is everybody's new bestie.
Yeah, World Cup winners stick
Who would have
together.
thought?
Hey? You're getting on well, though, right?
No, do you know what it is?
She's fab.
For a Kiwi, she's all right.
Yeah.
Fake
Yeah,
praise.
no, we don't do front-facing compliments. No, she's a good, and I think she's been brilliant. Like, she brings us such a different
Good energy
to the group. And
I loved her doing the hacker when the women were doing it.
And I think you would watch her and you'd be like, oh, she's just putting that on. But that is literally her. When it was Samoa, and she's obviously got links back into Samoa and family links, she was bouncing off the walls there. And then obviously New Zealand, first opportunity for her to see New Zealand play yesterday, literally up a height, chatting to the girls. She spent half an hour doing the rounds around in the crowd as well. So yeah, it's great. It's really good. It's great for the game.
New Zealand nilled Ireland.
Yeah. This was billed as a game of probably the final pool stage, and I think it had such a moment. They come out, they do the hacker, Ireland step forward, there's a 30-second stay off, which is pretty rare now in the women's game because everybody's 30 metres back. You don't have that intensity. New Zealand don't move, Ireland don't move, and you're like, we are in for a game. And that, after that,
Something like that only works like once every 20 years against
does.
the hacker. Like you try everything and...
Tell you what though, Ireland score early doors.
yeah,
As always, you know, they were within 5 metres.
Yeah, for about eight minutes.
And you're like, right, just score early, we're in the game, and then all of a sudden you get nilled. You're like, how did that happen?
She could have kicked 3 as well early doors, and you're like, should you maybe have taken that and just allowed yourself to build into the game?
On the
Oh,
board.
here's something.
Yeah.
I've seen more charge downs in this tournament.
On the conversion?
On conversions than I've seen in like the last 10 years. What's going on?
Interesting, isn't it? Because the goal kicking as a whole is significantly better. I wonder if the girls are seeing an opportunity, and I think a lot of the goal kickers have almost like a move backwards before they get going.
Or a routine that takes a bit of time, which you can't do
They're
when you're
just not
close.
used to as well, and they've just come a bit closer. It'll be interesting as we get now into knockout rugby where the kickers go a bit further back and a bit more aware of...
Oh my God, did you ever chase a conversion?
Yeah.
Did
Always.
you?
Did you not?
Chase every kick.
God, no.
Someone else's job.
What a
Imagine him chasing the
What a
conversion.
waste of energy.
He'd get nowhere near it.
Oh, I'd have to grow my nails to about 12 foot. Oh, what a waste
Oh
of
yeah,
energy.
you'd try and charge them
you'd
down.
have to,
just try and
always.
put them off a little bit.
Could be the difference.
Stacey Flood's little casual kick for Renee Holmes yesterday, though, I've got to admit, I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Everybody I've listened to in the last month have said that New Zealand always start off slowly and always build, and their quarter-final, semi-final, final is where they really charge into. Why? Because New Zealand normally, they play. Is it because they don't play so many warm-up games and they don't? Yeah,
I think so. I think there's a bit of that. They don't probably play as much rugby as everybody else does, but I think they just are a tournament team. We were talking about it yesterday and the difference between being consistent all year round and then New Zealand just happened to hit a World Cup. They've lost 2 games in 30 years in World Cup history, one in 91 and one in 2014, and gone on to win the rest of the finals have been present in. So I think they are the ultimate in tournament team, but they looked good yesterday. They've had Japan and Spain in the openers. They played against Ireland. Ireland didn't turn up, but oh my God, they look sharp.
My favourite team?
Wales?
Your favourite team?
Canada. I love the way Canada play.
When Wales played Canada? Still Canada?
No, now we're in the
okay,
quarterfinal. Now we're in the quarterfinal. I love the way they
Fiji now.
play. Ewan Cunningham, I coach Ewan Cunningham when he played for Schleswig. I coached Schleswig, so I've got a bit of affinity with Ewan. I was chuffed for Ewan at Fiji, but
Wales should have won that.
This is another one, right? International rugby, right? You're not going to go through to a quarterfinal, right? 3 minutes to go. You get an opportunity, easy peasy kick. You don't take it. You
missed all their conversions.
I know,
as well,
but
though,
it's like it's literally. But there, see that where those cups are.
They're getting knocked off, aren't they?
It's from here to there, and you're thinking, take the 3 points, come back, and you can win the game because they had a load of pressure and that there now. They've lost 3. Could have lost 2, drawn 1.
Yeah. So England's performance against Australia.
Well, this is the conversation now. Now we're into it.
Yes.
New Zealand, yes, looking good. Canada looking good. If you look at the rankings, obviously France as well. But England came in as favourites, perhaps not so confident after Saturday. So
Might be the best thing for them, though.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's better to have that in a knockout in a pool stage than it is in a knockout where you're a bit wobbly. But ultimately, they still scored 7 tries.
I was about to say, what was the final score?
6 driving maul tries. I think it's the concern.
Pack is great.
Pack
and the backs are great as well, but they're just, you're not getting both, are you?
Timing was so out yesterday.
Yeah. But you're not getting a great forward performance and a great backs performance.
Yet.
It hasn't combined yet. When it does, I think.
Game on.
Yeah, that is.
And the World Cup winners get injured.
Yeah, Ellie Kildown was a big loss.
Ellie. You know, you start picking up a couple of injuries now, and then do you know the worst thing is home World Cups as well, isn't it? Yeah. The pressure, because I got to be honest, I love the double headers. I think the double headers worked really well because I think the atmosphere down in Exeter on the weekend was absolutely brilliant, and the amount of people watching.
Yeah.
And with this sold out at the final. So much pressure, quarter-final, semi-final left.
So the quarterfinals are out.
Yeah.
Who are you picking to go through?
You've got New Zealand, South Africa.
Yeah.
I think that'll be New Zealand again, probably quite comfortably. Canada, Australia could be an interesting one because I thought Australia started really brightly against England.
Good. They were smart.
They were smart,
Very smart.
tactically very astute. But I think we'd probably say Canada have got too much. France, Ireland, after that performance. Probably France.
Is that going to be the biggest one, the closest one, do you think?
Yeah, that kind of Australia has potential, but yeah, I think France's pack will dominate Ireland in the same way that New Zealand did, and obviously Ireland picked up a couple of injuries, and then England, Scotland, it will be an England, but just by how many?
Scotland have really improved though.
They have massively improved.
I thought they played some lovely rugby as well. They've been powerful. The defence has been good.
Yeah. It's a big opportunity for Scotland now to come and put a good show in. I think, again, England will be too strong. It'll be interesting. John Mitchell's gone 13 changes, whether we now see a bit of consistency in selection, especially building towards semis and final.
The question marks will be Hannah going off injured, and then Ellie, who comes in because she's got a 12-day stand down. And then actually she still has to train after that as well. So you're going to throw her straight into she's good enough, but... Do you throw her straight into a semi-final off the back of 2 days training? England
will face the winner, France-Ireland, so as well you kind of at least know where you're going with that.
That'd be a great game, wouldn't it? France-England semi-final.
France-England, Canada, New Zealand in that semis. Ahead.
And you're still going to go England-New Zealand final?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With England to win it.
Yeah.
Do
you mean that?
Yeah, I do. Look,
that takes away from you being the last World Cup winner.
I'm all right with that.
Okay.
I'm at peace with that statement.
That's not what we were saying in there. We were on the coffee.
Now, Alex, you are the first Brit, maybe international player, to captain a pre-season NFL game.
Yes.
How on earth did that come about?
I just got told, we were all in the huddle one day, and I just got told, that was in going into my second year, and I think I was given that off the back of just working really hard. I think the team that I was with, they put a lot of emphasis on the fundamentals of the game and the culture they were trying to build. You might not know, but Dan Quinn, fantastic coach, he's with Washington right now. He read the All Blacks book that everyone...
Legacy.
So he read that book, and I think he based a lot of what he did off of that with the team ethos, because The NFL is an incredibly ruthless place. There's so many horror stories of players trying to get their own opposition within their position out the door, telling them the wrong call. And tell you now, there's no scarier place in sport than lining up on the offensive line. You've got one of the best athletes in the world you've ever seen, 6'8", runs 100 meters in 11 seconds.
Look in the mirror, will you?
No, I wasn't. And you are less than half a meter from them, staring each other in the eye. They're in a 3-point sprinter stance. And in the NFL, you normally get two calls in the huddle. They'll say, X fly to Z post, Y corner, Z bite. And then it'll be can, 19 force, might go to a run or whatever it is.
What the hell are you talking about?
Spanish.
Espanol, sí señor.
I understand that.
Damn it, Baxter, you know I can't speak Spanish.
Yeah. And so you get up to the line of scrimmage, and quarterback doesn't like what he sees, and he goes, can. And because me, obviously, trying to learn, trying to learn the playbook. What's the call? Can't remember what the second call is. So you lean over to your teammate and you go, what was the call? And he leans back and goes, I don't know. So neither of you know. And if it goes to a run play, normally everyone is going one way.
Yeah.
If you're messing that up, you can see that. And the thing is, in the NFL, you've got scouts with clipboards stood all around the field, just like in each position has a scout that is like grading you every single day. So there is no place scarier than that. But I've heard stories of guys who are trying to win positions in preseason who will tell the guy, I'll go, what was the call? And he'll tell them something different. So just to mess him up in general.
Yeah.
It's that type of place. It's not the same as rugby, right? Guys aren't going out for coffees, hanging out. One, because the schedule is so hard. We would be in at 7 a.m. Like training camp will take years off your life. You'll be in at 7 a.m. Sometimes you won't leave a meeting room until 11 p.m. You go home, you sit down at your desk for another half an hour looking over the place the next day. You do it all again. You do that for 4 weeks. So it's a tough place. It's a tough place to be. And as I said, you're on a rolling contract every day. And if you have a couple of bad days, they tell you they're always looking to get someone better. They're always looking for someone better than you. So you come in after a couple of days, you maybe dropped a couple of passes or missed a couple of blocks. You come in to see if there's a scout stood by your spot waiting.
Is that the?
Yeah, and it would happen every week. You'd be sat talking to a guy. Just had a newborn baby? How's your family? They've just bought a house. How's your family? What are you doing? Blah blah blah.
Ta-da.
Go off to breakfast. You go to your meetings. You come back. Nameplate's already changed. Someone's already getting changed in his spot, and that happened weekly.
Yeah.
But everybody that has been down the international pathway has always said it's not the training, it's not the physicality, it's the playbook.
Yeah.
Talk us through the playbook.
I mean, it's the playbook. It's also the game in general. It is such a complicated game. It's like a chess game, just with some of the biggest, fastest, most powerful pieces in the world, right? And I was doing things in my third year for the first time, different plays from the playbook, right? Yeah. So those guys who come through that system, especially if you play on offense, you just don't get enough time in the saddle, right? Because you always have to perform as well. You can't. Every year I had to regain my spot. I had to get re-signed. So I got re-signed 3 times by the Falcons. So if you want to be there, you've got to be worth your money in training, right? So it doesn't leave, you can't just sit back and say, right, I'm just going to learn here. You've got to perform. You've got to make your blocks. You've got to protect the quarterback. You've got to make your catches. And you've got to learn how to study. The playbook is the hardest thing. There's nothing like it in any other sport. And I left school at 18, right, and went straight into rugby. And if we're being honest, there's only so much you need to know in rugby. You've got a hard defense, you've got a drift defense. All the moves are kind of the same. But in the NFL, there's all sorts of different schemes and plays and packages and the play calling itself. And for us, we're not going up against, championship players, Division 1 players. These are the best of the best. As you said, there's 70,000 players in college who all want to play in the NFL. Yeah. So this is the very, very best.
Just come back to when you captained the team. Now, there's been some amazing team talks before games. Like you were brilliant at it. Jim Telfer, Rees Williams, who captained Cardiff for a couple of seasons. His little niche would be to look over to, you'd have like a sound system in the change room. And I'll be there, and he'd give me the nod like that, and I'd press play, and it'd be Peace with Inches from Al Pacino from Any Given Sunday. Every game.
Copyright,
That's amazing.
I thought it was going to be Are You the Tiger?
Yeah,
So he basically got someone else to do his pre-match speech for him. We won 3 games that season.
Works every time. That speech works every time. Yeah.
But what about when you were captain? You apparently gave her a couple of really good pre-match
talks. It was.
I'd
I'd had a lot of experience doing it from my rugby days, and I was always an emotive leader. You know, I wasn't the guy, the technical leader. I like to be the spiritual leader of the group, right? And I just kind of went to that. This opportunity for me, when you're sat in it was a pre-season game, and when you're in pre-season, guys will come out of college. This is their last shot to make a team. You know, 90 guys start, 50 guys finish, and get on the team. And this is your opportunity, right? And that's all I spoke about, was like, whether you get one play today, whether you get 30 plays today, make it count. And I said something along those lines. I don't know if it was the accent or whatever it was, but once I'd finished, the entire room stood up and they were hollering and whooping. That's probably one of my best moments in sport, because, you know, I was in a foreign environment, somewhere I probably wasn't supposed to be, and, you know, to have done that, to get the opportunity to do that, and to be able to express myself in that way, and for everyone to kind of to get along with it, it was very special.
Was there any regrets that maybe you didn't go through that collegial system? You know what I mean? If things were different, would you, in hindsight of what did it go down the Newcastle, London Irish, Sevens route, or would you have wanted to be a 10-year NFL career?
Which I think, if you're asking me from an 8-year-old, it would be rugby, because of the best thing about our game is the community. You know, it's playing with your mates, mucking about. It's the Sunday mornings down the rugby club. It's going through your school, going to away games, all this type of stuff. I think if you asked me at 18 what I would have preferred to do, if I could have a 10-year career playing rugby, 10-year career playing in the NFL, I probably would have picked the NFL, just because it was the absolute epitome of professional sport. And that's where I always wanted to be. I always wanted to be at the very top table, testing myself against the best. And that's what that was. You know, as I said, it was very, very difficult. But when you're in there, you know, this is it. It doesn't get any better than this.
No.
I think what I needed, as I said, was just time in the saddle. And I do always think, if I had come through, if I'd played from a 15-year-old or whatever and come through the college system, if I had the same, you know, opportunities, if I had the same coach who liked me or whatever it was as I did in rugby, in the same like twist of fate as I did in rugby in the NFL.
How many rings would you have on your fingers?
Well, I think I would have been a high draft
pick.
Need one.
I think that's what NFL do really well as well, is that they grow the game and they get access to players. You look at all the documentaries. There's constantly a documentary out, whether it's quarterback at the moment, America's Game, which is on it, about the Dallas Cowboys right now. I think that's where rugby is still left behind a bit. We tried the Six Nations one, but you don't get the buy-in from the players.
You don't get enough, do you?
When you look at the NFL and you look at the buy-in.
Natural. I think
a little
you probably
bit.
felt that, like, their personas is like, it's about me a bit.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't mind that. And like, rugby is trying to do that. And, you know, you always look at sports that are doing stuff that's well, but I think the NFL is just miles ahead in terms of that, in terms of how ingrained it is in college, in terms of the money behind it as well, and to tell the individual stories. And then you look at what they're doing now with the expansion. So like the amount of games overseas, I think, is it 10 years of London?
Yeah.
I think. So 10 years of London. They were in Sao Paulo
Thursday
this
night.
weekend. There's one in Germany.
Dublin.
So
Spain,
like,
Barcelona.
They're going after it, and they're now also putting it out for free. If you could take one thing from the NFL and put it into rugby, what would you take?
I would love to actually see a draft system. I think in at least the Premiership, I think that would go really well. If you got rid of the academy systems, maybe had some sort of national program that could pick a 16s and 18s team. Because then what that does is that filters, university rugby starts mattering. School rugby starts mattering. Your local clubs start mattering, because that's where your players are playing their rugby, where they're coming from.
Major League Rugby started doing that now, haven't they?
Yeah.
The Major League, they've got a draft day.
Yeah, it was the other week. I think.
It was
the first proper draft. Yeah.
What makes the NFL so good is it's always competitive. I think for the past, I was doing some commentary last night, and I was reading a stat, like for the past 35 years, 4 teams who weren't in the playoffs were in the playoffs. Because right now, basically in rugby, especially in the Prem, you get whoever spends the most money wins the league, which is the same as Premier League football.
Yeah.
Imagine the best player coming through. Newcastle have been bad for 3 or 4 years. They get the best player every year for 3 or 4 years, and they sign a contract for 4 or 5 years, whatever it is. They're going to start winning games, and all of a sudden, they become more and more competitive. You need investment from their owners, et cetera, and there's all sorts of like little things you could bring in. I would bring in tiered contract systems as well, where you can pay a player a maximum of 500k, but you have 1 or 2 spots for that. And if you have a player who wants to go earn that, I think they've got to go somewhere else to get it. You've got to start spreading out the talent. You've got to give everyone a fair chance, because right now it's just. Because the thing is, the NFL are all franchise models, so the league wins as a whole. Like, they've got commercial deals where it doesn't matter if Tom Brady's jersey sells a million of them, and one player when he was for the Patriots, or a Chargers player sells one jersey, both teams get exactly the same profit from those sales. So they want the entire league to win as a whole, which I think is a kind of a cultural thing that rugby could get behind, but
Also having like Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg and Eminem singing at halftime.
yeah.
That would be
class,
your...
wouldn't it? I'd just
Yeah.
go for that. Stick to Rugby, brought to you by Defender. You came back and signed for Bath.
Yeah, I did. So I kind of got stuck in a terrible, COVID kind of did me in really, because I was with Atlanta for 3 years. And I think for me in my career at that time, what I would have loved to have done, even just for a shot for a pre-season, would have gone to a different team where I wasn't the international guy, where I could have pitched up as close to a football player as I could have been. So COVID happens, my visa, I'm in the airport heading home, and everyone's talking about this COVID thing, and I think, I'll be gone within a month or two and I'll be back in the US. So I probably had a split decision to make. Do I stay in the US? Do I head back to the UK? I go back to the UK. Lo and behold, 18 months goes by. My visa runs out. Can't get a team without a visa. Can't get a visa without a team. So that's tough. And after about 18 months, it's like, well, I guess, what do I do now? So yeah, I went back to rugby, joined Bath as a winger. It's too handsome to play in the forwards. I kind of knew that.
I feel you.
Yeah.
None taken.
Did you get a call from Eddie Jones when he came back?
I did. So in that 18-month period, I actually contacted him.
Yep.
Said I'd heard about all this hybrid stuff he was talking about. I said, look, I played in the forwards. I'm probably one of the only people around who could go up in a line out and run a try in. Because at that time, being in the NFL, all my physical stats were through the roof. I was running over 10 meters per second. I was like 113 kilos. Could change direction on a dime. Was an animal. Like at that point, that's what that league does for you. He was super interested. I'm not sure if it was just for headline bait or whatever, but I met him a couple of times, and he was actually trying to get a deal over the line to get like the first ever central contract. Because I said to him, what I can imagine will happen here is I will go to a Premiership team and I'll get stuck behind XYZ in the pecking order while I'm trying to learn my way. And I said, can I not just come to the camps with you guys? You can have a look at me. Do you think you can make it work? If not, then I'll go off to a team, whatever. And then you can place me wherever you want. And he likes to be a forward thinker, doesn't he? I think he was all behind that. He was trying to get it past Bill Sweeney, but I think they just let like 170 people go. So there was just no money. And he said, look, sorry, mate, there's no money in the pot for you. So I was like, right, fine.
It was like he was in the room then.
He's not French. So that was that kind of door got shut. It was an exciting time, but it just didn't come off. And then, because what he wanted like a Bottier from He wanted a guy who could play in the back row, could also play centre winger. I thought,
unbelievable.
Yeah, so I thought that's...
At the age of 40. He's unbelievable.
Yeah, well, it got picked up by Bath off the back of that as a back. So yeah, it's just been an interesting turn of events, that whole journey. But I had a good time at Bath. Didn't play as much as I wanted to. I didn't get a pre-season with them. That's the thing. I came in like October, so it was time to learn everything on the fly.
What was the chat like with you coming in from the Bath players?
Oh, they loved it. I was playing up to it big time. I was giving everybody trash talk. I was doing all that stuff, and I think they loved it, right? Because I'd experienced something different, and I didn't want to lose that element. Because I think wherever you go, you always pick up little pieces, don't you? And so yeah, I love playing up to that little bit. It's like the American jock talking trash to you. Talking trash to the coaches sometimes. Because Neil Hatley was the head coach.
Nobody didn't play then.
Yeah.
Did you turn up to the first session with a big pair of pads on the helmet on?
I wish I'd done.
Bring it
Have
on.
you got any anti-inflammatories?
No contact after Christmas.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, pads are off. That's we're done. No more contact. But it was great. I mean, it's a great rugby city. That if you want to get a proper rugby experience, playing for Bath, maybe Northampton, Leicester when they're in their pomp are probably really, because they're rugby towns, rugby places. Yeah. So it was good.
Lewis Rees-Zammit was on the show the other week. He's come back to Bristol.
Yeah.
What do you make of his journey? And is it quite nice for you as a rugby fan to see him back?
He probably suffered with the NFL the way we all did. And if I'm going to be honest, they're not looking for guys like me and him, right? Or even Wadey, three exceptional athletes. But there's a lot of us out there. The only guy that has really made it was, I don't know if you know who he is, Jordan Mailata. Used to play rugby league, an absolute dinosaur of a human. You just can't find those guys walking the streets. 6'9", 150 kilos, can move, tough. Those are the guys they're looking for. So it was always going to be tough. And don't get me wrong, the NFL, if anything, it's a hugely opportunistic league. Yeah. and it can work either way. You can get the right rub of the green, the ball thrown to you, make a couple of plays and make a team.
Yeah.
But you can also do absolutely everything right, torch your man one-on-one, do all your assignments. If the quarterback doesn't look at you and throw the ball,
Yeah.
doesn't really mean anything. You know what I mean? Because you have to gain parity over other players through those opportunities, right? You have to make a play in practice. You have to make a tackle on special teams. And you just don't get enough reps at it. But then you're like, if I couldn't do it, if he couldn't do it, if Rees-Zammit couldn't do it, who can do it?
Yeah.
And I think it is those just freaks of nature that you just can't find anywhere else. But it's great he's back in rugby, right? And the thing about him, he's so young. So whatever anyone wants to say about it, it's not a failure in any way to have gone there. And I keep thinking this to myself, like, God, I pitched up. I'd never been to an American football game before I played against the Miami Dolphins. I've come into this, there's 70,000 kids who've been playing since they were 6 years old. I'm competing with these guys. I'm the best in the world. They're all playing for $50, $60 million a year. I can't be mad at myself for how I did, you know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah.
And that's what I would say to him as well. Like, people online can say whatever, but what an experience. He's gone and done it.
Before we let you go, Alex, we've got another
would've talked
quiz.
to him all day,
I
though.
know you would. I could tell.
Can we just
Alex
say-
has probably got things to do with his
Sorry.
day.
I want to go on a seesaw.
And you want to go on the seesaw. And we're going to do an either or. So we'll give you
Okay.
two things and you've got to pick your favourite, basically. Playing sevens or 15s?
Sevens if there was more money in it.
Playing for sevens or playing NFL?
NFL.
There is more money in it.
Not just because of the money though. Not just because of the money.
Wine or beer?
Beer.
Nice. Sing or dance?
Sing. I'm a recording artist, by the way, guys. I don't know if you knew this.
I didn't.
Did see something.
I got a song on Spotify, iTunes. It's all out there, guys.
Okay, what is it?
Cowboys Cry To. It's a cover song. Me and Dynamite, Emily Steele did it. So
No, wait, hang on a minute. Right,
that
come on,
legit?
push out this. Go on then.
Cowboys Cry To. That's all I'm giving you. You have to get down with
nice.
it. I'm not getting royalties.
We've been put behind a paywall. Don't tease us and then go, you've got to pay for it.
If you want to hear it, go and download it. I think
You know what Scott's doing after?
love it. I love
Sweet
it.
or savoury?
Sweet. I mean, some do say I'm sweet enough, but
A contest on I'm a Celebrity or Strictly Come Dancing?
ooh, I'm a celebrity. I think
Nice. Pizza or pasta?
pizza.
Summer or winter?
Oh, summer.
Run or gym session? I think.
Gym session. No doubt about it.
Watch or play sport?
Play.
And you are free. Thank you very
Nice.
It has
Guys,
been
it is.
incredible to listen
Yeah,
to the story on
pleasure.
Stick to Rugby. Didn't realise how
Thank
many
you very much.
player of the seasons you actually received, but today you are player of the match for Stick to Rugby. So thank you.
Another one.
Oh, look at you.
Appreciate it, mate. You can give us one of your lines to close us out?
What do you want?
Give us your best chat.
Give us
Yeah,
one of your
come on, your
lines to close
lines.
us out.
I mean, look, guys, when you're the 6'6" reflection of perfection, you always got something to say. Too fast to be last, too strong to be wrong, always ready to get the podcast on. So the thousands of people here tonight and the millions watching at home, if you want it, come and get it.
Cheese, the big basset. That's what we
How
want.
many times have you practiced that?
That's the only one I can remember off the top of my head.